Welcome back to Dimes on Duval, live again at Coastal Indoor Golf. Alongside Skylar Chase and Mike Yaji, I'm Keith Manzi. We can thank you guys for coming back and joining us once again. Mike, Skylar, hello.
What's up?
Howdy.
So we've kind of gotten into a nice little rhythm now here where we're trying to go once a week, and we thank you all for joining us for that, our rhythm that we've kind of found ourselves in. So it's kind of an odd week, though. We've got the Jaguars not playing this weekend. We've got the Noles not playing this weekend, and a giant question mark for the Gators. I mean, we were hoping that they play this weekend. So
it's slated to be played, and they're gonna have some beautiful throwback uniforms. If that game continues to go on, where they're playing Missouri, it'll be an interesting game to see. I mean, I don't expect Florida to lose to Missouri if they play a game, but we saw Missouri beat LSU a couple weeks ago, so we'll see. I mean, LSU is not anything what they were last year, obviously.
Yeah, that could be a testament to how bad LSU is as opposed to how good Missouri is.
So we'll see, but we're going to look good regardless because of those uniforms. I really like those.
Did you see them, Mike? I honestly, I kind of like them.
I did, but I don't really care for uniforms as much anymore, so I'm good on uniforms.
It's the same ones as they wore against Auburn last year, but blue helmet this time. So.
Okay. It's almost like that's super subtle. The Magic changing their statement uniforms or whatever by just changing the Nike logo to a Jumpman logo.
Yeah. And also,
whoopee!
Remember the city uniforms? They're changing it from the gray and orange to now looks like going to be white and orange.
Yeah, so my Markel Fultz jersey is going to be kind of iconic because it's only worn for 1 year.
Yep.
But I'm sure they'll go back to it in the future, kind of like Miami did with their Miami Vice. And
those are so nice.
Came up with alternates to them so they keep wearing them.
Honestly, Miami should just adapt to Miami Vice set, and then their red uniform should be their alternates.
I mean, that's basically what they did with the Marlins, really.
Yeah,
they just went Miami Vice, which, some of those gray uniforms are beautiful.
That should be the whole city's, how you recognize them.
Like Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, everything's
black
and yellow, yeah, so.
Won't say it right because I don't care.
I was doing it after the Wiz Khalifa song.
Well, I think they prefer black and yellow as opposed to yellow and black.
Black and yellow. I like the green and yellow, Lil Wayne's version.
Yep.
That was
incredibly
lame. Yeah, where we've evolved with music. Actually, we've kind of devolved.
Yeah, I would say we've gone worse.
What's the best Jaguar song there is? Is the one from the 90s, right? It's I don't even know how it goes, but maybe we could play a sample at a later time.
I honestly have no idea.
I don't know. Anyway.
Well, yeah, sticking along with, you're talking about Miami, you're talking about their jerseys. I'm going to flip up the state, up to Tampa, where we just saw the Rays, unfortunately, losing Game 6. Who said Dodgers in 6? Didn't want you guys?
I said Dodgers in 5.
I said Dodgers in 6.
All right. Well, good job to you, Mike. I really disappointed the Rays couldn't squeak it out, but a lot of people are blaming manager Kevin Cash. Yeah, blaming Kevin Cash as he took out
Blake Snell.
Blake Snell. I couldn't remember.
He's got it all written down right here too.
No, I didn't write that part.
Non-baseball fan is the one.
No, I'm glad you got it, dude. I completely blanked. I was looking at the TV and then I just got lost. But no, took out Blake Snell when basically Snell was pitching the best game I think in his career. I mean, he'd only thrown 70-something pitches. He was fanning them. He had 9 strikeouts. And then, because of analytics, Cash takes him out. And what happens right after that? A double, runs, they're down 2-1. So, I wanted to look a little bit more into some other sports and some, for lack of a better term, fuck-ups from management in regards. Now, I'm not talking general manager like Otis Smith ruining the Magic or,
or Dave Caldwell continuing to ruin the Jags roster.
But I'm talking Pete Carroll throwing on 4th down in the Super Bowl instead of handing it off to Marshawn Lynch and losing the Super Bowl, basically because of that play. Mike, I know you mentioned one with the Jags.
I've been mentioning the Jags for the last 15 years, but the one that came up when we were talking about a pre-show was the Orlando Magic in the NBA Finals, where Coach Stan Van Gundy decided to go ahead and start Jameer Nelson, a injured Jameer Nelson coming off an injury, over a red-hot Rafer Alston.
Red hot is an understatement.
In the after Rafer Alston was balling out in the Eastern Conference playoffs, and even during the regular season when Jameer Nelson was hurt. When Jameer Nelson came in, you could just tell something was off between the chemistry between the team, and I personally believe that, and also Courtney Lee's missed layup kind of hurt the Orlando Magic chance of winning the NBA Finals.
How that series could have changed if we didn't blow a lead, or in Game 5, I think we blew the lead.
Which one was it? The Courtney Lee layup?
No, not the Lee layup.
Oh.
No, that as well, but we also blew a lead. I think it was Game 4 that we blew a lead.
Maybe it was Game 4.
Remember, but yeah, that could have been a whole different series.
That situation, though, reminds me of when the Jaguars had David Garrard cover for Byron Leftwich during, 2004 season, I believe. And, Garrard got us to the playoffs, essentially, and the Leftwich was healthy as we were going into the playoffs. And Jack Del Rio decided to start Leftwich over Garrard. I think we only got 3 points in that game against New England in 2005 playoffs or whatever it was. And so I was always upset about that coaching decision as a child, because it's I was in elementary school, and it was obvious how dumb that move was to put, like you said, you have a red-hot player and you put in someone who hasn't been with the team in weeks or however long, and you expect them to perform how they would have mid-season, and that's just not the case. That's why coaches get paid. They get paid to make those decisions, and Jaguars coaches have not been the best. I mean, like you mentioned, Toby Gerhart from the 1-yard line getting stopped in London
4 times
right?
in a row.
Just an international embarrassment.
Yeah.
So, and it's not the only situation we've gone. Honestly, you could look at as most recent. Well, I mean, not most recent, but if you go to the most costly, it'd probably be 2017 AFC Championship game, where you just decide to run with Leonard Fournette the whole second half, as opposed to, I mean, I know it's Blake Bortles, but he was playing pretty well in that game, and Leonard Fournette could not run the ball like we always knew, and we ran the clock away. But
Leonard Fournette's trash, but that's another topic.
That is another topic, but
that's
a
the
topic
right
we've
there.
covered.
Yeah, we've covered that plenty of times. I agree with that. Sometimes you put too much blame on the manager, coach, whatever, but sometimes it's really just what are you thinking? I think back to, I was researching this. I was looking back to the Cubs in 2016 when Joe Madden decided to pitch Aroldis Chapman for 3 innings in a row when they're up by 5 runs, and they wonder why he was tired and blew the save in Game 7. That man was exhausted. He wasn't used to pitching more than 1 inning a game, and then bringing John Lester in as a reliever when he hadn't, came in relief since 2007 before that. So it was
some
what
of these
are you thinking there?
situations, though, it's a little different. With John Madden, or Joe Madden, excuse me.
Boom.
It's in the game.
But
with Joe Madden, his situation, his thought process, I'm sure, was Aroldis Chapman throws 102 miles per hour, and we're in the final game of the season. You kind of have to lay it all out there. It's what's that one movie where the announcer just said, oh God, is it the Longest Yard, or is it the Water Boy? You got to lay it out on the field. The last game of the season, you got to lay it out on. I think it's the Longest Yard where they're in the.
I'm not sure.
Oh goodness. Maybe
it's probably one of those two, though. I haven't seen either of those in a long time.
It's the last game of the season, Game 7 of the World Series. It's been 108 plus years for the Cubs, and you got a guy throwing the ball 101, 102 miles per hour. No one should be able to hit that, but of course, you leave him in for more than an inning, like you mentioned. He's not conditioned to do that, but in that situation, he needed to be able to do that, and it technically worked out. So. We won the World Series, so I couldn't say that it was a blunder per se. It was scary for sure, because I think being down 3-1 gave us some. There's probably blunders prior to that just put us in that situation. But I don't.
Well, hey, you can make a compilation video of Aroldis Chapman blowing things, because he does that a lot. But that's really. I just wanted to touch on that because, hey, the Jags aren't the only one who make mistakes. So,
well, our coaches are pretty bad. We make coaching coaching errors every game. Look, they ran the ball this time when we've been chiming about it the past couple
maybe
weeks.
Maybe they listened in.
Yeah. So thanks for listening. Jay Gruden and Doug Marrone.
Well, going with that, so if you the way they
go along with that,
the day that we are recording this, Adam Schefter announced Minshew has what exactly, Mike?
Let me
some
pull up
torn
the tweet.
ligaments in his throwing hand, right? Was it
Yes.
5?
Let me pull up the tweet exactly.
Five
He
in
sent it to
honor
us on Twitter.
Great.
He has
Blake
multiple
Bortles.
fractures and a sprained ligament in his right thumb.
So obviously he's right-handed, so that is his throwing hand.
Too much jerking.
So is that is that how long has he had this for?
Apparently since the Houston game 2-3 weeks ago. So
and the fact that they didn't know was weird. I don't know if Minshew just didn't tell them.
I think Minshew didn't want to lose his job. And,
Maybe, but like,
yeah, I don't know.
But like realistically, I mean, if I'm Minshew, I'm sitting there. It's like I have this injury in my hand. Wouldn't you want to disclose that? So that way you can at least get it treated and fixed sooner. I mean, they're saying he doesn't have to have surgery.
The dude
but
tried
like,
to hammer his own hand, so I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
that was to play football longer. So when you have this ESPN and the city saying, "Oh, he needs to be taken out," this and that, he probably felt like, I need to keep, like Mike mentioned, I need to keep playing. Don't want to lose my job. But I mean, his backups are Mike Glennon and then
Jake Luton.
yeah, Vui Luton. So
I mean, of those two, you gotta say you want to play Jake. You don't want to play Mike Glennon, right?
yeah, anyone with the name Mike's a weird character. So
I'm just going to ignore that comment.
at least you don't have the long neck. So
I mean, yeah. If you think
That's
Mike
true.
Glennon in history, you think of him
Neck
having a long
game.
neck. Yeah. You don't think of, wow, that guy's actually a pretty decent quarterback. No.
he can see over the line. That's what you think.
That might be about it. I don't think he can actually throw, but he
Just-
can actually.
I think we mentioned it last time. Draw Play Dave's. You can look up one of his comics, and he's gonna see a perfect example of what Mike Glennon is.
He used to do. It was the year that every team in the division was terrible, and it was like he did Merry Christmas from each division, and that was the year they were terrible, and it was a dumpster. And yes, Mike Glennon sitting there in his Bucks uniform with like a probably 6 foot long neck, and it was pretty funny, but.
His neck to Mike Glennon's neck is what Peyton Manning's forehead is to Peyton Manning.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
that's good.
Absolutely. What other ones?
Big Dick Nick.
Big Dick Nick, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. That's all I got.
I don't know if there's got to be other ones though.
Off the top of my head, those are the two close comparisons, I guess. We don't even know about Nick Foles, but that's just like a rumor.
That's speculation.
Yeah,
It's not
they
been
did the same thing
confirmed.
with John Hamm, the actor, too.
I'm sure up in Chicago it's much colder, so it's not quite as BD.
Which
LDN,
Kevin, if you're listening to this,
which he
I hope
always
you
does.
enjoy-
He's
I
such a
hope-
great listener.
I hope you enjoyed that loss as much as I did, because that was fantastic. Minshew. I mean, now that we know this, do we feel comfortable trotting him back out there for another game or no?
Hell no.
I mean, it's just some part of me doesn't even know if it's true. Like, I mean, I'm sure he's hurt a little bit, maybe. I don't know. But could it be a reason why they say, yeah, we're not going to roll with Minshew out there. We're going to give ourselves the least chance to win.
What about you, Mike? What do you think?
I'm good on Minshew. I'm good. I mean, if they trot him out, I wouldn't be surprised because he is the best quarterback we have. But, I mean, the season's already over. There's nothing we can do. We're not making the playoffs. The team is a dumpster fire. The roster's a dumpster fire. The coaching staff is a dumpster fire. The general manager's a dumpster fire.
Mike, it sounds like you've checked out.
I'm checked out. I'm just ready to get a top. I hope we land a top 3 pick and get one of these quarterbacks because I'm over it. I'm over it.
We're not going to go in depth with this right now because obviously the season isn't over. But which of the top 3 quarterbacks would you pick right now and why?
Okay, Trevor Lance is the number one answer.
Trevor Lawrence?
Did I say Trevor Lance?
Yeah, you did.
My bad. Trevor Lawrence, yes. Trevor Lawrence, undisputed, in my opinion, the number one quarterback is who I want. But I'm being realistic. I don't think the Jets are winning a single game this year, so I am now leaning towards Justin Fields at this point.
I picked Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, interesting. Why is
Okay.
that?
I think Trevor Lawrence has shown this year, at least, that he is he's not perfect. I think he's shown a lot of just lazy plays where he just kind of doesn't complete the play. Or now,
don't
granted,
agree
he's
with
got
that,
some
but-
great touches, but he's thrown some pretty bad interceptions. I think that Fields has, at least the little bit that I've seen. Yeah, the one game so far this year, but man has poise. The man has vision. I mean, I'm not saying that Lawrence doesn't, but I just like the way he throws the football a little bit better.
I think, honestly, both these prospects are about as clean as they get in terms of quarterback play. But, with Lawrence, he doesn't have the competition that Fields does, so he can take plays off, check out in the game, kind of. I mean, when you're up 73-7 or whatever it is against Syracuse, it's one thing. But I would be happy with either. I kind of like Fields, just the way the NFL is kind of evolving. Lawrence you can do a lot with. He's mobile still. He's mobile enough to where you can still have a modern-day NFL spread offense or whatever. But I think Fields kind of fits that better, obviously. And
it's weird because this almost reminds me, now it's not the same, but it almost reminds me of Vince Young, Matt Leinart. But, people weren't set on Vince Young, and people had questions about Matt Leinart too. But they almost always, most of them you say would oh yeah, I thought Matt Leinart was the guy. Vince Young showed a flash for a year or two, but that was it. But both of them just sucked, and they were the best two college quarterbacks that year. And it was wow, that's
if you
pretty
go
wild,
back and look at a lot of the drafts, you could say that about a lot of the QB drafts.
Absolutely, and that's what makes the position so valuable. Is
that's what I hate about the NFL too, is that we got guys trading up to draft Blaine Gabbert in the top 10. Or drafting Blake Bortles at number 3.
Yeah,
drafting Leonard Fournette. And
doesn't matter. I mean, whoever we take, we're still going to find a way to fuck it up because if we keep Dave Caldwell and Doug Marrone in charge, it's just going to lead to another lost season, and I see no hope for this future.
I feel the frigidness coming off of Mike's body.
He is so over.
Done.
I am done with Dave Caldwell. I'm done with Doug Marrone. Do you guys see his quote, by the way, the other day?
That he's going to be crazy.
Have you seen it? Yeah, okay.
He's going ham.
Yeah, what? Yeah, is he switching from bologna to turkey? What is this crazy? I am so over Doug Marrone and Dave Caldwell.
He's going
I'm
no
sick
cheese
of it.
this time.
Because he knows his time is up. He's just going to stir the pot and try and get people excited for something.
He's not gonna fire
excited
Todd
for
Wash,
a 20-point loss against Houston.
Well, and he's got to say something to be hey, you know what? At least I tried. That kind of thing. Because once they fire him at the end of the year, be hey, man, I pulled out all the stops. I called trick plays. I went for it on 4th down. I faked punts, whatever. I did everything I could, so it's all your fault. But it's no, it's your fault.
It's your fault. It's Dave Caldwell's fault. It's Jay Gruden's fault. It's actually mainly Shad and Tony Khan's fault. But that, if you want to know about that, I've been tweeting
When
about
was
it.
the last time Tony Khan tweeted about the Jaguars?
You saw my week
after
one.
Week 1?
Week 1, when we beat the Colts. And before that, it was April, when we drafted C.J. Henderson, our entire draft class. So... Oh, and also he did tweet about Unique Ngakoue. He tweeted Unique Ngakoue about his tweets, but Tony Khan and Shad Khan is too focused on wrestling, and it's really just irritating. And the yacht, which is probably not sell.
Side note, going back to our other episode when we talked about that, I actually went by, and when I biked by, I could actually see the swimming pool.
Really?
It's not very big.
Oh, well, sounds about right.
Yeah.
They put more money into the pools in the stadium, but which no one's using this year, except Jacksonville.
Well, just once.
Yeah, once. Yeah. But one thing I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys see the Jags winning a single game the rest of the season? I'll pull up their schedule while you guys...
Yeah.
1. I say 1, just like we did a couple years ago when we beat the...
So I'm going to go schedule...
Titans
I want to see...
on Christmas or
I want to see if you guys...
Marrone's first game.
So this is... I'm going to go schedule by... Or game by game.
Okay.
Houston at home.
L.
Skyler?
Yeah, I'm going to... Go L that one too.
Okay.
This is after the bye, right?
This is right after the bye.
Yeah.
At Green Bay.
L.
Perfect L. But I mean, when we put our picks on Twitter, I'll never pick the Jags to lose.
That's fine. That's fair.
That's fine.
Okay.
Alex actually made a comment about that. He told me to tell you, man. He admires that your unwavering confidence in the Jaguars weekend.
I think for the past however long we've done this, I've never picked them to lose.
I don't think you have. Yeah. All
right.
Next.
So in my book, the Jaguars are undefeated. Three times Super Bowl champs.
Pittsburgh at home.
L.
L as well. I'm 0-3.
L.
That's gonna be closer now.
Okay. Closer than Green Bay? I don't think so.
They'll get hyped up for they're gonna have the teal on black that game.
Oh, I hope so.
Screw the uniforms. I don't care.
I care.
Cleveland at home.
Well, that's your fraud. That's one. That's
Jags are the biggest frauds in the NFL right now.
No
one said we were going to be good.
I would say Washington.
I say we're going to be good.
I would say Washington is a big fraud, but
Okay.
I mean, maybe Dallas.
They don't even have a nickname.
Dallas lost their quarterback.
I say an L, though. I say an L.
L to Cleveland. Skyler?
Just give me a half a W.
There's no half W.
There's a tie.
So you're saying a tie? A tie?
You're going to say a V?
I admire the V.
So you're saying a tie?
Yeah, I'll give them that win. Okay.
That might be the best one. I don't know the rest of the schedule.
At Minnesota.
Oh, they might win that one.
That's
too.
the one. If I had to pick, it's probably
I'll say
Minnesota.
L.
So they're gonna go 2 back-to-back wins.
No. Tennessee at home.
L.
Which home? No, I'm just kidding.
Touche, Jeff Fisher. So here in Jacksonville, you're saying L.
Yeah.
And then here's where it gets real fun. Baltimore is about to lay up 70 points on us in Baltimore.
L.
Unique Ngakoue and Calais Campbell are going to destroy Gardner Minshew.
I don't think Calais is going to be that mean, but he'll take the double teams, and Yannick's going to take all the sacks. So, yeah.
Maybe it gives us a better draft pick. Who knows? Chicago at home.
Win.
You're just saying
it's either Trubisky or Foles. That's his
And
pride.
then at the Colts.
L.
I honestly, now looking at this, I see maybe 1 and 2 wins.
So
And that's pushing it. I don't.
4 and 12 is what I have.
I say that best 3 and 13, at worst 1 and 15.
Remember when we were predicting these games, like
Yeah, and guess what?
ago,
We're gonna have
arguably
one of the worst records we've ever had. Actually, I think the worst record we've ever had.
2012.
And yet we're not gonna get the number 1
2012 was
pick.
the worst record. We were 2 and 14.
Yeah, but we could go 1 and 15 this year.
I don't think that's happening though. I just
I
don't
think we
see
could.
it. I just don't see it. I get it, but I mean, we almost beat the Chargers like this week because we ran the ball.
But I just don't
And
see
the Chargers have an elite defensive
We have a
line.
kicker back.
Well, Josh Lambo accounted for so many points.
I'm in the negative Nancy here. I just don't see it, especially with this coaching staff.
It's fine.
but
I'm glad you are. I'm usually the negative Nancy
I'm so
around
sick of it. It's ridiculous.
It's nice to see the shoe on somebody else's foot.
And I'm the
ridiculous.
positive Pete, the PP.
The PP. Well, the
I'm the
Jags are peeping all over the field at this point.
Hey, some people like those golden showers, okay?
I'm
The other Jaguar
I'm
teammates.
neutral Nate. I'll be neutral Nate. All right, well, let's just get into some segments. We don't have a lot to talk about today, so let's just finish off with some segments. What do we got for our games to watch for this weekend?
I just went with the Gators since I missed the Florida-Missouri game.
Missouri could give them trouble, but I don't see it.
Honestly,
I think Missouri will cover. If anyone cares, I think Missouri covers. Plus 13.
I don't understand that science, but
Well, the degenerates out there know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, me and Skylar aren't degenerates like you.
Yeah, no, 13 and a half.
My
Or
class-
Missouri's definitely covering
my class
that.
ring from high school has the Jesus fish on it.
Mine has a stingray.
I don't even have a class ring.
Who's your game of the week, Mike?
Did you even
My
graduate?
game, yes, I did graduate. My game of the week is my for real team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, going up against the Baltimore Ravens up in Baltimore. It's an AFC North rivalry, one of the best rivalries in sports.
Pittsburgh wins by.
I think Pittsburgh
13.
wins by I think 10 points.
You know
I think 10
what
or
I
more.
hate? How like the NBC glorifies the NFC East.
Oh, I think it's NFL, not NBC.
Well,
NFL is ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, but
they
still.
should have known. I agree. They should have flexed this game, the Steelers Ravens, to Sunday night, or at least the 4:00 kickoff.
But it's like every season though, you have the first game of the season is always going to be Cowboys Giants or something like that, and then the Eagles Cowboys are always on. The Giants and the Cowboys are on their second time.
Yeah, they usually ignore the R words, but everybody.
They
else
may have
gets
to
all
actually
the
care
love.
about them this year because they have a chance of winning the division.
But-
But as I was saying, with the Steelers Ravens game of the week, AFC North rivalry.
AFC North is probably the toughest division.
No.
Well, I mean Cincinnati's not that great, but
NFC
well,
West.
yeah, okay, yeah. But
NFC West is the best.
I guess
division
if you're
football.
looking throughout past 10 years, just consistency, NFC North always has, the Baltimore and Pittsburgh are always going to be up there, and Cincinnati sometimes has been pretty good.
I mean, I still think NFC West.
No, I get that with this year. I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying even before, like Russell Wilson, the Seahawks with the Crabtree, with Sherman, and all that. That rivalry was nuts too. So I'm not.
That was good.
I
But
can't
before
count
that,
the NFC
Seattle
West.
was crap.
Oh yeah, and the NFC East was
San
good.
Francisco was crap. Arizona had a Super Bowl appearance, and then St. Louis moved
Good
to
times,
LA.
man.
Yeah, but I mean,
Kurt
NFC West was garbage too. But then NFC East was actually pretty
Well,
decent.
Pittsburgh's always been at the top.
Not last year.
Not last year because of injuries,
Okay,
but
yeah. When Duck
But no,
Hodges
I
was
agree.
our
No,
quarterback.
NFC, the Patriots. I'm sorry, not the Patriots. The Steelers and the Ravens. Yes, they're always consistently up there. Well,
like
Ravens
in
weren't.
2017.
Ravens were not. They were not looking good for
they
a few
weren't that
years.
great. I
No.
mean, they always had a
But
good
they
defense.
went from Flacco to Lamar Jackson, and we're stuck here where we're at.
Or we could have had Lamar Jackson, but
yeah,
that's
and with the same defense they have in Baltimore.
2 of them, not all of them, but yeah.
Yeah, but
okay, yeah. So my game of the week is Ohio State, Penn State. Number 3 Ohio State, number 18 Penn State. Penn State laid an egg last week, so
I want to say
after
laid
Mike-
an egg. I
took the L.
Mike
They
said
took
that
it
Penn
out.
State
Took
was
the
going to
L.
be in the playoffs.
They still can if they continue.
That loss was awful, though. So I mean, if you're looking at a 1-loss Florida versus a 1-loss Indiana, who are you taking?
Indiana?
Penn
You
State.
mean
Yeah,
Penn State?
exactly. But still, 1-loss Indiana's not making it either.
Yeah, no, but Indiana's actually a solid football team. If you watch the game, they actually played pretty well.
Texas A&M is
Granted.
better than Indiana, though.
Yeah,
Texas A&M also will choke every year because Jimbo Fisher is not a great coach.
and they usually have a quarterback that chokes.
That's true.
Go from Manziel. To
True.
Calamond.
All right, and then
before
moving
that was
on.
Tannehill,
Yeah.
wide receiver, gone quarterback.
That was before Jimbo, though.
Yeah, well, Manziel was before Jimbo too.
Moving on to game ball of the week. I'll go first. We'll go back the other way.
Okay.
Devontae Adams, 13 receptions, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a Packers W over the Texans. That was just incredible to watch. I mean, 196 yards is just unreal. Another reason why Jimmy Smith deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, doing it against that
There are some
amazing
Twitter
Baltimore.
trolls out there about Jimmy Smith.
Really?
I replied to one of them saying, someone said, who... I want to pull up the tweet about Jimmy because I was very caught off guard that some people don't even know who Jimmy Smith is. But...
Well, those are people that just started watching football like 3
Yeah,
years
no, I
ago.
guess Jimmy Smith was talking about Kenny Golladay, and he said he's not impressed at all with Kenny Golladay. And then someone said, I recommend you get some prescription nose glasses. Jimmy Smith said not impressed, blah, blah, blah.
I think the original tweet was PFF shared a post about the most contested catches, and Jimmy Smith said that means they're not getting open.
Yep, that's exactly.
Hey, that's actually really valid.
Yeah, exactly.
And someone said you need to get your eyes checked or something like that.
Yep, and then Jimmy Smith, someone said the goal of the receiver is to catch the ball when it's thrown in his direction. And Jimmy said, how are you going to tell me when none of these guys could hold my jock strap? I was dying laughing at that. And then I replied back to a tweet. Some idiot was just being a troll. And then everyone was just going off on this guy for saying some stupid shit about Jimmy. But yeah.
Too much slander for that man. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
So
Tony
Jimmy Smith
Baselli
getting
too.
your game ball? Okay.
No, Jimmy Smith's not getting my game ball.
Who
But
gets your game ball, Mike?
my game ball goes to Tyler Lockett. He was targeted 20 times in the Sunday Night Football matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. Caught 15 of them, 200 yards receiving, and 3 touchdowns. That is an absolute insane stat, especially when no one else on the team had more than 5 targets. Russell Wilson was looking towards him at all times, or as many times as he could.
You think you'd want to guard a guy like that, but I guess not.
Well, the thing is, Arizona's best cornerback was Patrick Peterson, and he was guarding DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
So they were attacking the other corner.
You throw where he ain't. So.
Exactly.
Yep.
They were attacking, let me see who the corner was. Drake Kirkpatrick. So, yeah, not a bad idea to go after him compared to Patrick Peterson. But
True.
Yeah, I didn't watch too much football, so my game ball's local. It's going to be James Robinson. I liked how he played this past week. They ran the ball, 22 rushing attempts, 119 rushing yards, rushing touchdown, and then also had a 2-point conversion.
That's what I want to see out of him. I'd love to see over 100 yards each game.
Yeah, and I think he'll do that.
How
They
many
hand it
attempts
over
did you
to
say?
22 instead
22?
of 13 or
Better
14.
than 13, yep.
yeah, and notice how...
He had like 50-plus yards before halftime, right?
Yes, I believe so. And Gardner Minshew only threw 27 times. He threw for 173 yards. That's the style I would need from Gardner, to be honest with you guys. But if we want to win games at this point,
173 yards or the passes? How many?
14
He
of 27
slow.
attempts for 173 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He started
no
very
picks.
slow. That rush kept coming, and we heard
Yeah.
Gus Bradley's name way too much.
He got sacked 5 times.
Yeah, they
so.
definitely
They
definitely like throwing his name out there. Thanks.
That's the only time he ever gets praise. It's like whenever he plays
James
the Jaguars.
Lofton kept saying his name over and over.
This Gus Bradley defense is
Yeah, so
bringing.
shut up, James.
Didn't
And
do that
also, condolences, thoughts and prayers to Dede, who tore his ACL.
Condolences to ACL.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was
definitely
bad. And it was bad enough that they didn't show the replay on TV, so it's very.
Did you
scary.
watch it again on your YouTube?
They wouldn't replay it at all.
Well, I mean, like you can.
Yeah, I
record it.
rewatched the game because I was over the Jaguars. I rewatched 2 plays on the Jaguars, and that was to show one of my friends that DJ Chark was absolutely sick of Gardner Minshew at the end of the game. but that's because you didn't believe me. Yeah, that's all I rewatched of the game.
Hopefully next week we'll be able to talk a little more positive. Get Mike out of the gutters here.
We took an L on the bye week. What are you talking about?
True.
I'm just waiting for another.
That's every bye week, though.
I'm waiting for more news to drop about the Jags, and it's just like, what the hell are we doing?
Well, do you think we trade Minshew?
No. We have until Tuesday to do it.
Maybe
so no.
Maybe we can talk some Magic or find some local topics or something that might cheer us up. I don't know. Anybody know anything about high school football? We can talk about
but
that.
one thing I do want to state, everyone, I know Skylar cannot do this, but go out and vote. This will be the last podcast before Election Day, so just go out and vote.
Yeah, take it from your local felon.
Every vote
local felon.
No, back to high school football. Actually, Creekside's got a decent team. I didn't see what they did this past week, but they beat Bowls.
Hey man, we don't have to. We don't have to go in depth. It's fine. It's just
Creekside. I have major.
So if anyone stopped listening
pride.
At this point, I don't blame you.
I mean, it's almost over either. It's also
Kevin's still listening, so
it's because
we got a lot of.
We got some Car to sleep. Car's listening right now, going to sleep, probably just like.
Most likely, but
or else
speaking
we're just
of which,
too
where's that invite, Kevin and Katie?
Oh, jeez, yeah. I was over in their neck of the woods the other day, and I needed to stop by, but that's targeting them. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be doing that. This is a podcast for all people, not just Kevin and Katie to listen to.
Yeah,
so.
well, when are we going to be invited to everyone else's house?
My cousin texted me.
All you listeners.
I'm not going to say his name again because that's 2 shout-outs in a row, but he texted me
it's $5
2 days ago. He said, I got a shout-out. I'm like, yep, keep listening. I appreciate it.
If you want a shout-out, it's $5. Just hit me up. Hit my DM.
We are not a business, no.
We do have some news on the horizon. We're not going to share it just yet, but some upgrades are coming soon to the Dimes on Duval team, so we're excited about that. Maybe get some new guests as well on the show too. So keep an eye out on social
segments.
Keep listening to us. We got hopefully some groundbreaking stuff coming here real soon. So
we do have recurring segments. One of them is why the Jaguars sucked each week.
Absolutely, and we'll keep that going. We'll keep that going to the end of the season. But for now, that's all we've got on this episode of Dimes on Duval, brought to you by Coastal Indoor Golf. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.